Welcome back to Sunday Square Off. I'm Kevin Kennedy. When I say the Phoenix VA, what is the first thing you think of? A place for vets to get the medical care they deserve, a hospital that is committed to healing our military members, or do you think of a healthcare system that has horribly failed our heroes, a facility that was so poorly run that dozens of veterans died before getting the care they deserve? Well, joining me now is the VA's newest director, Rima Ann Nelson. She previously ran the VA's medical center in St. Louis and was most recently in the Philippines. Also joining me now is veteran Steve Cooper. Many of you probably know the name. Cooper has been battling stage 4 prostate cancer for the past few years, and he most recently won a $2.5 million settlement against the VA. Both of you, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get right to this. Director, when we talk about the VA, obviously you came into a situation that wasn't roses and daisies. What have you done over the past 7 or 8 months since you've been here to kind of instill a different culture and some confidence in the veterans that are coming to the VA?
Yeah. Well, first of all, before I get right to that answer, I want to apologize to Steve and to all the veterans that have lost trust in our system. Apologize because we did not meet your expectations and we lost your trust. And so one of the first things that I wanted to do when I got back is regain that trust. So in doing that, we have to make sure that we have access to care and timely access to care, and that we're coordinating that care to the degree that our veterans expect. Absolutely. And so that has been my focus when I first arrived. And so in order to meet the demand, and it's a growing demand, we have a lot of veterans coming into the Phoenix VA, we have to constantly look at our capacity to care. And so space, people, equipment, technology needed to expand the footprint and expand that access. So that's what I focused on.
She mentioned trust, Steve.
Yes.
Are the veterans feeling that trust? Are they starting to gain that trust back under her leadership?
It absolutely is starting, and I want to thank you as well, Rima, because literally, you should know, Kevin, Rima is the first person to privately as well as publicly, express her sorrow to me and others that have been harmed by the system. And so that goes a long way to acknowledging that we made mistakes in the past, even before Rima's leadership here. And now we want to work with the veterans and the community and the providers to offer better care, whatever that looks like. And so it's hard for me, right, frankly, to be here, but I'm here because Rima is establishing that trust. She's extended the olive branch. And also, we do it for a bigger cause, as we were talking about earlier. It's for those veterans that if they still want to go to the VA, that will be an option. And then through Choice 2.0, most likely, any veteran can pick an option to see a doctor in the private sector. So that trust is starting. We have a long way to go, but I'm all in to help the director to get where we need to go.
You mentioned Choice. Let me talk about the Choice program. And for people that don't know, the Choice program essentially allows you as a veteran to see a private doctor.
Correct.
Is the Choice program working in your belief, Steve?
It is working. As Rima, I'm sure, will acknowledge, there are challenges. You think about it, the VA, and I'm not here to defend the VA, obviously, but when you think about it, the VA is the largest health care provider in the country. They're also arguably one of the largest insurers in the country. Now they're also managing a third-party administrator, TriWest and HealthNet, to manage literally millions of patients' cares in the private community. So their task is massive. However, with that being said, it's true. I and others can see doctors in the private sector through the VA, through the Choice program, and it's reimbursed by the VA. There are issues, but it is working.
Are you confident with how this program is working right now, Director?
I am, but we still have a lot more work to do. And so the good news is that we have options through the Choice program to be able to deliver care when and allow the veterans to choose to access that care if we are not able to deliver it within the VA. But there are many things that still need to be worked out because we are piloting new programs under Choice, and the CVS Minute Clinic is an example, one that that we just offered to our veterans here in Phoenix a few weeks ago. There are many things we still need to work out, mainly with coordination of care, with the bills, and so as we work that out, we need to continue to look at ways to get better.
I know one of the things you're hoping to work out deals with wait times. I mean, that's been a hot button issue here. Steve, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've been a little bit outspoken about this. Wait times have improved. I think, Director, you said, look, wait times are down to like 6 days or what have you. Steve, you have been, once again, a little critical in regards to it. It's a false reality, which is wait times are improving, but look, 6 days just means they're saying a triage person or an intaker. Is that kind of how and they're not actually getting the real doctor that they want? Is that a fair statement?
That's
Steve?
still part of the challenge, but I know the director's working quickly to remedy that, and so she has a lot of things she's working on today so that veterans will see not just the triage nurse initially, but actually get those authorizations. I mean, she's talked about getting same-day authorizations in specialty clinics and in community providers. So I do believe with the resources, the vision I've seen, and the dedication, that veterans will be able to receive, I believe, same-day, if not second-day care and authorizations in specialty clinics, whether it's at the VA or in the private community, by the end of this year, and I believe that's going to happen.
Director, let me ask you this, and I've done a number of stories in my years, and one of the things we deal with when it comes to the police department are community boards, if you will, kind of community members coming together and holding police accountable. When we talk about a VA situation, is there anything on the horizon that would be a board made up maybe of some veterans or what have you, and community members that would essentially kind of gather every month, however it is, and essentially kind of hold the VA accountable, if you will, for lack of a better term, in regards to the job it's doing when it comes to our veterans?
You know, actually, we've already discussed that. And we actually talked about having our key stakeholders tell us how we can improve. And so we have not necessarily discussed a board, but that is an option. But we talked about really engaging more, not only our veterans, such as Steve, who've been very proactive and also advocating on behalf of other veterans, but our veteran service organizations to get involved and really work with us. And that is one thing that I have been very impressed with coming to Phoenix, is that the support in this community for veterans is phenomenal. Everything from veterans themselves, but also from our veteran service organizations, our community partners, our congressional representatives. Everyone is in this together and working with us to do whatever it takes. So that's a great idea, and that's something we will definitely consider. And
then Steve, I'm assuming, last thing for you, Steve, I'm assuming this is something that if given the opportunity, you'd love to serve on this type of board. You think it's a good thing?
Yeah, I'd be honored to. Like you mentioned, in the law enforcement community, which I came from, we have police accountability boards. So, typically hospitals have boards of directors. That's lacking here. So perhaps a board of directors, as well as an accountability arm, could be very effective to help the VA not only recognize, but help fix situations, because the director can only do so much, right? And the team. So I think an external board could be very, 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 very powerful.